I'm a big fan of detective games, although I can't name any at the moment. Finding clues, interviewing witnesses, piecing the events together, and catching the baddies with deductive reasoning. It's a kind of formalization of the typical adventure game mechanics that really appeals to me. You have an inventory, but often you also have tools. You have dialogues with NPCs, but also records of them to find contradictions. NPCs can be witnesses, but also suspects. And Pepe Sylviaing your way through the plot is fun, interesting, and if done well, incredibly satisfying. LA Noire! That's one that counts. Anyway, here's a video about a couple of Barbie detective games. The setup for Detective Barbie in the Mystery of the Carnival caper is that Ken has organized some kind of charity carnival, but both he and the funds have gone missing after, hilariously enough, he took part in a magician's disappearing act and did not reappear. Sounds incredibly suspicious to me, but the game insists that someone else is to blame. Luckily, Barbie and her friend Becky have entirely coincidentally started a detective agency and have just hired a new assistant. You! The game sure gives you a lot of names to choose from, but what matters is that it has
Bobby.
You're dropped into the game with a magnifying glass to spot foot and handprints, and a crime computer, trademark, to help you sort out and analyze clues, character interactions, and usable items. As you explore this painfully colorful carnival, you find evidence that should help you figure out who the culprit is among a selection of characters such as Shady Carnival Owner, Suspicious Maintenance Man, Almost Certainly Guilty Magician Lady, and Shady Carnival Owner's equally shady son. You can also go jet skiing and sliding for some reason. Barbie gets distracted easily, and I can strongly relate. Getting on the merry-go-round gives you this, though, which almost makes up for the game's flaws.
Bumper cars and shooting stars, Ferris wheel by the sea. Don't mean much to me, they're just make-believe.
Almost. The flaws are major. First off, the way you move Barbie borders on painful sometimes. It's the move your cursor to the edge of the screen and hope Barbie can pathfind to where you want her to go movement system, and boy is it tedious. Not in the least because especially in the larger areas it takes Barbie several hours to move from one side of the screen to the other. The way the environments jerkily zoom in and out doesn't help either. But these are things I can forgive in a detective game if the main mystery and the solving of it is compelling. So here's how that goes in Detective Barbie in the Mystery of the Carnival caper. Everything is random. Everything is random. Everything is random. Who is the culprit? Random. Which clues point to them? Random. Where do you find these clues? Can you guess? Random. The game's cover alleges this is a benefit, giving it some kind of replayability or unpredictability, something that gives you entirely new adventures to play with within the same framework, but in reality it just means the game is completely and utterly directionless. There is no logic to anything, no real puzzles to solve, and there's so many places to click that lead to nothing at all. You're not unraveling a mystery, you're not connecting the dots. Even more so than most adventure games, you're just clicking the screen randomly and hoping it leads somewhere. At one point I found a clue that explicitly pointed me to a specific location, only to find absolutely nothing there. I was really disappointed when playing this. Expectations weren't very high, sure, but I was looking forward to doing some fun detective work. I wanted to be a smart and sharply dressed Sherlock Barbie, but all I got was random clicking and very slowly wandering around a particularly garish carnival. So I gave up. Ken was never seen alive again, and no trace of him has ever been found. Personally, I think he ran away with the money himself. Detective Barbie 2: The Vacation Mystery came out a year later from the same developer and using the same engine, but with some notable differences. One, it is a total pain in the butt to get running. Much trickier than the first game. It requires a specific virtual machine setup to run without crashing at all, and I thank Prince Zuko's Honor at speedrun.com for providing this setup publicly. And what a lovely Barbie themed version of Windows 95 it is.
Beautiful Barbie.
In this installment, the Detective Barbie crew, which is you, Barbie, Becky, and some guy, are taking a break from whatever it is they do to go to a nice seaside resort. Once there, they immediately encounter an annoying professor dude who is obsessed with the resort builder's secret treasure and the Da Vinci Code-like ciphers that lead to it. There may or may not be a thief who's after the treasure too, so there's a time limit in play, and I guess instead of taking a much-deserved holiday, we're back on another case. Along the way we hang glide, pollute the beach and the ocean, and encounter a concerning amount of secret passages that lead to nowhere even when they're super elaborate. Again, every single person you encounter is a suspect, even when it makes no logical sense. As a game, it's a bit tighter than the first one. Although the culprit is still randomized, the puzzles and clues feel more directed. It all flows a bit better and doesn't feel as random and aimless. Yes, there are still plenty of openable thingies with nothing in them, and sometimes there are clues or puzzles right in front of you that you know are clues or puzzles, that they should be interactable in some way, but the game won't let you yet. Kind of annoying, but I actually made it to the end this time. In my playthrough, the annoying professor dude wasn't a professor, just an annoying thief. So it's better than Carnival Caper, but not much. It still suffers from most of the same problems, especially the rage-inducingly slow movement speed. It still has the confusingly long list of names, including... I'll let you take this one, Barbie.
Candling.
Really? You learn something new every day. More importantly, Barb's outfit is so bad in this. Denim vest is a Seinfeld character, girl, not something a fashion icon should wear while solving mysteries. The game might be worth it just for this incredible song that plays during the installation, though.
If there's a mystery you can solve, and clues are hard to find, there's just one girl you need to...
Please do yourself a favor and follow the link in the description to listen to the entire thing. It's worth it, trust me. So here we have a pair of Barbie games that are at best cognitohazards that should be avoided by anyone who values their brains not leaking out of their ear holes. Mostly they're just big letdowns, really. I wasn't thinking these were going to be masterpieces, but there's nothing at all clever about these games. At no point do you feel like a detective figuring things out. Now I know what you're thinking. Bob, Bobby, Bobifer, the Bobster. This is a game made for children. First off, yeah, all games are made for children, even the bloody ones. Especially the bloody ones. But during my stream of this game, someone in chat said it best. Young children wouldn't enjoy this either. There is a third Detective Barbie game, this time a PlayStation exclusive from a different developer. One day, maybe, once I have psychically fortified my mind for the experience. Really, I should have played the Murder, She Wrote point and click instead. But does that have an unused secret rap song in it? I sure hope so.
When the chips are down and the road dead ends and you're feeling like you ain't got no friends, but the lights go dark, you hear a sound that makes you stop and turn around. Well, don't get scared and don't start freaking, for them old dogs